As Trump makes his case today to Arizonans, his party remains deeply divided.
Two high-profile Arizona Republicans spoke at the Democratic convention this week endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris. Mesa Mayor John Giles and former Trump press secretary Stephanie Grisham.
Just how many disaffected Republicans actually vote for Harris could decide the election. 12 News journalist Joe Dana tells us why those voters are full of surprises.
Phil Townsend is an upstanding citizen of Yuma. If you think you know how Phil's going to vote this November, think again.
I've won every award the state party has ever given.
He has a glowing resume in Republican politics.
For myself, John McCain, and Jeff Flake, I've been the past chairman of the Yuma Republican Party.
But Phil is angry at the MAGA movement, specifically its refusal to acknowledge election results.
Frankly, we did win this election.
I have given blood, sweat, and tears to the Republican Party, and to watch what's happening to it today just breaks my heart.
He calls January 6th abhorrent.
We came to a point within the party that they don't care about the law. And I'll go back to the Kari Lake thing. Her and Abe Hamada, they're throwing discontent at the election systems and the judiciary. Those are two of the critical bases of our nation.
Those concerns borne out in a survey of all former Trump cabinet members earlier this month by the Washington Post, only half saying they support their former boss this time around. Notable detractors Mike Pence and former Chief of Staff John Kelly, saying he has nothing but contempt for our democratic institutions and the rule of law. There is nothing more that can be said. God help us. Back to Phil in a moment to find out just who he's voting for. The frustration he feels is a reason why there is a robust Republicans for Harris movement.
I have been a Republican my entire adult life.
Republicans voting for Harris explained their fears at a DNC convention watch party.
In this election, it's about democracy.
It's a pretty simple question for me. Who is going to support the Constitution of the United States? Kamala Harris.
These aren't folks who are doing it because of any great love for the Democratic Party. They think it's about putting country over party.
Democracy watchdog John Carlson is co-founder of the Recovering Truth Project at ASU. He does not believe it's hyperbole to say democracy is on the line.
That's part of the fundamental commitment of democracy, which is you know how to lose. You commit to being able to play by the rules of the game.
What I keep hearing now more and more is, well, Hillary Clinton and Al Gore, they were also election deniers.
No, Hillary Clinton conceded the very next day.
Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump.
Al Gore pursued all of the legal options that he had available to him, and afterwards, Al Gore said, I concede.
What remains of partisan rancor must now be put aside.
Now let's go back to Yuma. As for Phil, he says he's voting for Trump.
I think the Republican Party has shifted and changed. I hope it changes back to the party of John Kyle and John Shattuck and Barry Goldwater.
I want to go back to my friend Phil in Yuma, who sees a lot of problems with MAGA, but ultimately he said, I don't think Trump is a threat to democracy. What would you say to Phil?
Well, I would say it depends on what your definition and understanding of democracy is. If it means being willing to concede a loss, he's a threat to democracy. If it means being willing to suspend the Constitution, that seems like a threat to democracy.
Another loyal Republican, former Governor Doug Ducey, recently came out in support of Trump. Ducey saying it's important to set aside differences for the sake of Republicans winning the presidency. Joe Dana, 12 News.
All right, Joe, thank you.